And just a minute or two here for the players to get warmed up before the start of the game. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with Doris Burke on our sideline. Here's the starting five. State Farm presents our lineup for the tip-off. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Dirk Nowitzki?
You know, he's not really known for his ability to bang down low on the block, Kevin, but Dirk Nowitzki is, I think, underrated when it comes to his footwork on the post. He gets deep position down there. He knows exactly how to get his shot off against virtually any type of defender.
Yeah, and he doesn't need a perfect look to score. I mean, he can do it over tough defense. His size gives him an advantage, and he's got such an unorthodox array of shots and ways to score over defenders that guys challenging him with their hands in his face usually don't bother him at all.
Well, it was the Charlotte Bobcats winning their last game against the Bucks. And just a 2-point win there. They had to fight tooth and nail for it.
And you might not typically mention blocks as the key to a win, but I think you do in this case. They were really dominant defensively.
Well, when you come up with as many denials as they did, rejections that is, it's impossible not to mention. I mean, it was a great game for them defensively.
Rubio dishes to Henderson. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Bekovic with it.
You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011, and even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
Now here's Crawford. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
Now, here is Smith. He had 16 points in the win against Philadelphia.
Well, he was aggressive at both ends of the floor. He had 3 steals in that game, remember?
Yes, yeah. Here's Prince. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Prince has got his first basket of the night. That drive by...
Oh, man, that was unreal. Arc it up. Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
And that was Sprite bringing you the close-up on that big-time play.
You look at Jason Kidd at 6'4", really strong for a point guard. But at this stage in his career, he's best off guarding shooting guards because some of the smaller, quicker point guards have given him trouble the last couple seasons.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Dwayne Casey. Coach told me that defensively, he's not even sure how you contain Dirk Nowitzki offensively. He said he really has an unstoppable shot with that turnaround. I don't know how you stop it, but we're going to try. Guys, it always helps to have those athletic, rangy defenders who can at least get a hand in his face. We'll see what matchup they go with defensively.
Thanks again, Doris. Toronto on defense, leading by 5. Henderson kicks to Nowitzki. Shot from 16. And once again, off the mark by Charlotte. You talk about Jason Kidd, guard and wing players. He's more than solid there. So that cross-matching defensively can make a lot of sense.
Well, he's so smart and so strong. Always a stronger guard than most that he would face. 6'4", 215 pounds. And not only is he strong, but he's smart. And plays the game as much with his head as he does with his body.
The Bobcats have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And the basket by Nowitzki.
Another nice move from a player we've basically come to expect nothing less from.
Here's Bekovic. dunked hard with one hand.
An open lane right there. Pretty much saw the daylight he wanted and took advantage.
Yeah, great opportunity, and he seized it without much hesitation.
Yeah, a little too easy, if you ask me. The defense really needs to tighten things up here.
Here's Henderson. Good work defensively by Carter.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Kidd with it. Guarded now by Rubio.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Into Nene, and he slams that one down.
That's what we came to see. Aggressive, assertive basketball.
He just threw that one down with as much strength as he could muster.
Hey, you got that right. An angry dunk.
So it's Toronto now. The Bobcats making the shot. Carter outside. Carter right side. The leader, and he hits the jump shot. Carter's got his second basket of the night.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
Rubio, the pass to Prince.
Man, oh man, finishing with flavor.
Yeah, he put something extra on that one. You're right.
And the bench going wild, guys. They love it. What an amazing dunk.
Oh, look out.
He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
There's a minute 40 left to play in the first quarter. Rubio with it. He's picked up by Kidd, and now the first time I've called here for the Bobcats. This game against Toronto here, it's their first look at the Raptors.
Well, they took the season series from this club a year ago, but then again, almost everybody did.
And the Bobcats have changed their look on the floor. Andrew kicks to Morris. Charlotte moving the ball around. Stolen by Robinson. Throws up the alley-oop. And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession. Clark, let's be honest here. I doubt either team is shooting for the playoffs.
Well, Kevin, I'm always honest. That's the only way that I roll. They might say they are, but sometimes you need a reality check. That said, we've seen amazing turnarounds in the past. It could happen with one of these guys.
The Bobcats making a switch here. Rubio's checked in. Wasted no time on that one. Wallace has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. He feeds it to Monty Eunice. So for the Bobcats, Marcus Morris is checked in for Monty Eunice. Henderson comes in for J.J. Redick. And Jamal Tinsley is subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And Toronto also making a switch. Villanueva's checked in. Now here's Turkoglu. Rebound by Smith. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Jordan. And that one's good. Jordan's got his first bucket of the night.
And a great start offensively.
Yeah, they've come out strong. I mean, really scoring and playing with confidence. Well, I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Here's Smith. The shot will not go. So the Bobcats will take it the other way. Here's Tinsley. There's the pass to Morris. Looking to end the run. That one falls off Tinsley's feet. Raptors leading by 8. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Boy, what a fantastic opening quarter for them.
Yeah, it sure has been. Look at the lead they've jumped out to already. Impressive.
17 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Turkoglu dishes to Landry. Sinks that one from a post. Landry's got his first bucket in this one.
Nice touch near the hoop.
And Jordan slams it home.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are dialed in offensively, guys. I think they look really well prepared for this game.
And they've rode that early hot streak to a big lead here in the first.
And after just one quarter of play, a double-digit your Bobcat. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. Taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here, Clark and Steve. What have they been doing or not doing, in your opinion?
Just the start they wanted to this game. Solid offense. They got good ball movement. Established a nice rhythm.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. Free-flowing and fluid at the offensive end.
They've got Nene, Tayshaun Prince out there with Nowitzki. Then it's Henderson and Tinsley. That's the Bobcats 5. Nowitzki outside, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Josh Smith. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And now, guys, still early in the second quarter, and that's his second foul. I'd be anxious to see if they leave him in here.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bobcats. Monty Eunice is checked in for Nene. Landry comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. J.J. Redick's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And Darius Morris subs in for Jamal Tinsley.
A humongous lead for them here. I mean, they've really done a good job of controlling the flow of the game.
Yeah, and I think it's the rebounding they have to thank for that, Clark, because it's really set the tone in this contest.
Well, in a broad sense, I guess if you were looking to really stretch things, you could say the Bobcats had more success against the East.
That's a big stretch.
Here at home, all but 2 of their wins came in the conference. Problem is, they only had 7 wins on the year.
And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Hi, guys. Well, it's interesting to hear about how Dirk Nowitzki's game has developed in the NBA. He said, when I first came in, I was basically a spot-up shooter. And when people switched the screens, they took my jumper away, and then my game was nothing. So I had to work every offseason on off-the-dribble moves and at least getting comfortable in the post where I can turn over both shoulders. So it's been a piece of work, and I'm going to keep working till it's over. Kevin, he's turned himself into a formidable player.
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bobcats. Marcus Morris is checked in for Landry. Turkoglu comes in for Tayshaun Prince. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Darius Morris. And the Bobcats ending with the worst winning percentage of all time. Teams from every conference just beat them up, Steve.
Well, I think they knew they were in trouble early on. I mean, this was part of the plan. They traded away their big contracts for future draft picks and cap room. So the Bobcats were well aware from the beginning that it was going to be a long year.
Here's Henderson. The Raptors getting the bucket. And that one's good. Henderson's got his second bucket. Last outing for Toronto, they won that game against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
They took advantage of an opposing defense that looked completely out of sorts in that game, guys.
Yeah, they didn't come up against much resistance at all. I mean, they had success with pretty much whatever they tried. And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the boards. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead, and it shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game. Boy, that happened fast. Just the immediate bucket off the steal.
Well, one of the things they have is the ability to score quickly after a turnover.
Jamal Tinsley's checked in for Marcus Morris. The Raptors have shot just 1 free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team, guys. I mean, you look at the numbers, impressive.
Boy, I tell you what, you can't even compare their numbers at the free throw line last season to the numbers this year. I mean, they are so much better.
Now, here is McGrady. Tinsley covering.
Well, Rubio gets most of his attention for his passing ability, but he's a much better defender than people realize. He's got those long arms, has a great sense of anticipation, able to get a lot of steals and deflections.
And so here's Toronto, following the score by Charlotte. And that one's good. McGrady. Now Tinsley. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Rubio, shot is blocked. Now, here is McGrady, gets the bucket. McGrady's got 4 points now in the quarter. And going back to Ricky Rubio, for a young player to be a plus defender, you don't see that very often.
No, you really don't. I think it's mindset, it's certain skills that these players that are good defensively bring to the table. He's got excellent anticipation. He's not afraid. He's been a pro since his early teens, so nothing intimidates him about what's in front of him, and that lends itself well to being productive.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bobcats. Nene, he's checked in for Monty Eunice. Nowitzki comes in for Hedo Turkoglu. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Jamal Tinsley. Here's Rubio. Rebound by the Raptors.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And it's stolen by Ricky Rubio. And it's the Bobcats on the break. Henderson with the ball. Oh, and the dunk by Nene.
Well, this fella can rise up there with the best of them.
Just a crazy finish, guys.
He's one of the few players with the athleticism to pull that off.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite.
Boy, I tell you what, the D was way too soft right there, like Jell-O. You got to do better than that.
Clark, he's not the kind of guy you want to get in the way of.
No, exactly. He's a hard man to stop coming down the lane, but you've got to have good position before the play starts.
It's been 4 years now and counting for the Raptors since they made the playoffs. Overall, the franchise found their way into the playoffs early, but it's been hard getting back there recently.
For the Bobcats, Carl Landry's checked in for Nene. Reddick comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Darius Morris subs in for Ricky Rubio. They grab their own miss. Prince. And good on the basket. Hook it. Prince has got 6 here in this quarter.
I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting them involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
Now let's take a look at Jason Kidd and some of the numbers that he's been putting up. 2nd in steals, 15th in assists. And he's been locked in from behind the arc, guys. He's in the top 20 in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage.
And, Steve, I think the steals per game average that he sports is really an impressive stat. I mean, you think about coming up with the steals that he does and the way he does it with smarts and tenacity.
That is good. And with so many stars coming and going, Bosh and Tracy McGrady, it seems each time, Steve, that Toronto gets a team that can make the playoffs, they lose their centerpiece.
Yeah, that's going to be important in the future. Can they hang on to their players? It's one of the reasons I think they've gone with a more European feel to their club. It's an international city, Toronto is. And I think the franchise feels like if they draft European players, they're more likely to be able to hang on to them than they would be the American stars.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bobcats. Gerald Henderson, who's checked in for Reddick. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Darius Morris. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. Rubio against Kidd. Henderson passes to Landry. Over Kidd. Again, the miss by the Bobcats.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Henderson kicks to Landry. Prince outside. Rubio outside. With the lead pass, Landry gets the bucket. Here's Carter, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2.
Nice job there, attacking the rim and drawing the contact.
Yeah, I like that play there. The defense had no choice but to foul in order to save the dunk.
The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line. Always someone you love having at the line.
And we finished one half of that.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's Wednesday night. We're almost over the hump. This is the 2K Sports Halftime. A terrific start for the Raptors, and give them credit defensively. They're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. They've gotten some great minutes out of Vince Carter. His field goal percentage.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Vince Carter really making a difference here.
Yeah, the points have really come in bunches for him so far. Not really a surprise because you know exactly what he can do.
Well, he's been in the groove all game long, Steve, and not too many hiccups in regards to his shooting, but we also have come to expect this from him, so we're not surprised by it.
Setting the floor for the Raptors. Jason Kidd is out there with Crawford. And there's Carter. Then it's Smith, and it's Pekovic in at the 5.
Flawless alley-oop that time. That's some real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates. Well, Jason Kidd is a first-ballot Hall of Famer, undoubtedly. One of the great point guards the league has ever seen. But at 39 years of age, last season the mileage started to show. His numbers really took a dip across the board.
And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession. And now we get a chance to view the NBA's best setup men. Fifth, Ricky Rubio.
Kevin, anybody who can move the ball like this guy does is a valuable asset to a team. He actually might be more dangerous passing than shooting.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. And for Kidd now with the championship ring, at this point he can really play for, Clark, the love of the game.
Well, I don't think he's played for anything other than that throughout his Hall of Fame career, Kevin. It does take some of the angst away when you desire to be a champion and you finally get there. I think Kidd has always enjoyed playing and competing at the highest level, and he won't do anything other than that as long as he's in uniform.
And the Bobcats call time here.
The Bobcats seem to have had some momentum in 2010 when the franchise made its lone playoff appearance, but they seem to have sputtered out after that and now are clearly in full rebuild mode.
Pass to Nowitzki. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. And Kidd, here we go. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Back to the last and only playoff showing for the Bobcats. They did seem to be a team on the rise that year, but unfortunately, Steve, they just couldn't keep it going.
Well, they couldn't keep the talent together. Remember, they had Tyson Chandler, they had Jared Wallace. They had guys who were pretty highly paid, and they decided to cut back on expenses and kind of retool with some future draft picks. And unfortunately, that's a long process sometimes. And this is why they have the big lead. The rebounding has been dominant.
Guys, the +8 rebounding, I don't think it tells the whole story. I mean, they've been the more physical team from the outset. That's been the difference, their physicality.
Kidd against Rubio. Fades and shoots. The rebound by Carter. Raptors leading by 20. Back to Kidd. Smith left side. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Taken away by Nene. Here's Henderson. Poked away. Taken away by Kidd. Here's Carter. A stupendous finish in traffic. Carter's got 6 in the quarter.
And when you play against him, guys, you know that it's going to be very tough to deny him if he gets in close. So you've got to body him. You can't let him get positioned down by the hoop. Otherwise, he'll just torture you down there.
And I'll say something else, Steve. He is one of the most powerful finishers we have in this league. He takes it to the rack hard.
Smith, defended by Nowitzki. Deep 2 from Crawford. And again, it's Toronto converting.
Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots. And that's what they've done. Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Well, now we get a chance to check out how Ricky Rubio is looking. 3rd in steals, and he ranks in the top 5 in the league in assists, so doing an excellent job of creating offense for his team.
I think, Steve, there's an awful lot to be said about his top 3 ranking in steals average. I mean, he really thrives on playing defense, and you should when your hands are as quick as his. I mean, that's something you want to use to the benefit of your team.
And out of bounds as the Bobcats gain possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at the Raptors, and of course the Bobcats, 8 games out.
Well, right now for the Raptors, they've pushed all the right buttons so far. I mean, it looks like they're in for a much better year than the one they had last year.
Well, they've gotten off on the right foot, and that's the main thing. And sometimes in the NBA, it's all about that start that you have. You can build momentum early, and then if you create enough cushion for yourself in the standings, you can deal with that adversity that's inevitably going to come. Well, when you look at DeAndre Jordan, just a tremendous physical talent. Great athleticism, can run, can jump. He's already good, but I think as his skills develop, he's got the potential to be a great center. And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
The shot by Redick, no good. Raptors leading by 18. And the jam by J.R. Smith.
Nasty, nasty. Whoa.
And that look right there on Clark says it all.
He's not alone, Kevin. That was just mean right there.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. Landry gets the bucket. And for DeAndre Jordan, Steve, you mentioned his upside. Right now, almost all his points, Clark, come across the lane, right around the rim, close in.
Yeah, you'll rarely see him shoot from outside of the restricted arc area, really. I mean, his free throw stroke shows you why. He's got work to do there. He can develop something offensively, a jump hook and a mid-range jump shot. Watch out.
And the Bobcats have changed their look on the floor. A new group in now for the Raptors. Pekovic checks in for DeAndre Jordan. Wallace comes in for Josh Smith. Vince Carter, he's checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Crawford in for Nate Robinson. To the inside. Henderson, no good.
I don't like his body language, guys, right now. He looks like he's completely...
Oh, look out, man.
Whole rim is shaking.
He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
Morris. That one goes. Count it.
You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
Here's Pekovic. No good. Some solid defense there by Nene. He kicks it to Nowitzki. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Crawford's got his fourth rebound in this one.
What a play. You know, that's something he's capable of every trip down.
And it's just impossible to get tired of.
Yeah, there's always this excitement, this aura that surrounds him, guys, and the crowd senses it.
Inside, an emphatic dunk.
I like the awareness they had there. Guys were headed out on the break the instant the steal was made.
And they got the easy bucket because of it.
Here's Morris. Shot is off.
Great work getting in the shooter's face and then getting back to the boards to grab the rebound.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. While we're still getting underway here in the fourth, let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Uncontainable Game Report. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Raptors put together, they get the Uncontainable Game Award. No matter what the defense throws their way, they've had a solution for it and just keep rolling up their totals. Who knows how big this lead can get by the end of the game?
Doris, thank you. And what a concerted effort they put together tonight.
And, you know, that was really the uncontainable aspect in this game, Kevin. They got on the same page as a team and pretty much did what they wanted for the entire stretch.
Well, clearly it's a different game without that scoring run. That was a game-changing run, no doubt.
A moment now to reset the lineups. Brought to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. On the floor for Charlotte, they've got Ricky Rubio. Carl Landry is out there with Tayshaun Prince. Then there's Nowitzki. And it's Henderson in at the two.
Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
And that's exactly what you call a high percentage hoop there.
Sure is.
The one-handed throwdown. Gotta love it.
Landry, a screen on Kidd. Nowitzki kicks to Rubio.
Well, there are quite a few stars who can lay claim to the title right now, but for you guys, who ranks as the true king of slam in the NBA right now? I know for me it's got to be Blake Griffin. The dunks he had this past season were just off the charts.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch on that pass, and then to lay it up and in, all in one motion.
That's about as graceful as it gets, huh?
Splendid.
And I like that he just went with the simple layup instead of trying to do anything too fancy. He just got the job done.
Rubio gets a screen from Nowitzki. And Rubio kicks to Nowitzki. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. 9 points for Nowitzki. Well, Steve, to answer the question you posed, I think I might have to go with Blake Griffin, but only on You know, the acrobatic circus-like feel it gives all of his dunks, the incredible torque that he musters up to throw that thing down and do it with such a ferocious feel. But that's not saying that I think he's on his way to superstardom. I think there are a lot of parts of his game he's got to work on and work on a lot. But in terms of just his slam dunking, that probably stands out, and Blake would be up top of my list.
Yeah, Kevin, you make a great point. I mean, you know, no question Blake Griffin is the best dunker in the game, but until he develops that consistent jump shot where he can get to the point, like Karl Malone did, where he can turn and shoot over the top of people, he's not going to be a complete player. He's already a great player, but to become a superstar, he needs to expand his game.
Nene with it. Now Smith defending, and the shot's good from Nene. And the Raptors call time here.
Well, no question, playing in front of these big crowds brings a lot of pressure as well as excitement. A recent study found that for home players in clutch situations, they tended to excel in effort tasks like offensive rebounding, but struggled in the focus task like shooting free throws. Very interesting.
And that one's good. Raptors leading by 22. Pekovic dishes to Smith.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time. Yeah, he flushed that one down and then hung around the marble at his work a little bit.
Yeah, getting acquainted with that rim.
And giving the photographers an extra second or two, I guess.
And that replay sponsored by Sprite, giving us a great look at that one. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Well, last season with the condensed schedule, we saw teams really preserving their star players in the regular season, limiting their minutes. And frankly, I think it's something that should be done every season to save their energy for when it matters most. I think it's a good philosophy.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. The Raptors have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. And it's Carter penetrating. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. Going back to what Clark was just talking about, an interesting stat over the last 8 years, there have been almost 100 occasions of players who logged over 3,000 minutes in a season. And get this, none of those players, Steve, none of them went on to win a title.
That's amazing, Kevin. And I think of Greg Popovich and his handling of Tim Duncan the last couple of years, limiting his minutes and allowing him to extend his career. And the Spurs had another terrific season a year ago. So I think it's something that you have to try to do as a coach. It's difficult because you don't want to lose your job, but you've got to be able to try to extend guys' careers and improve the quality of their play by cutting down their minutes.
On defense, Charlotte, good on the three-point shot. Carter's got 28 points for the game.
I like the way that he has really stayed aggressive from that three-point line after not making a single one before the halftime.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
So both teams making some changes here. The Raptors have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. White with it. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Yeah, this is a done deal here. They've pretty much finished this team off.
Yep, we can put this one in the books. Too much to overcome now.
1:39 left in the fourth quarter. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
That's just another mistake. I mean, they've got it on autopilot, and they look totally dejected.
The Bobcats making a switch here. Turkoglu's checked in. The feed to White. And another basket for Toronto.
And they have a huge advantage on the boards.
Well, it's been one-sided so far, both on the rebounding side and the scoreboard.
Feeds to Reddick. 13 feet away. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
That's 10 straight points on mid-range jump shots.
You know, to paraphrase a Bible verse that says love covers over a multitude of sins, good shooting does the same thing in basketball.
Morris. And good coming off the assist from Hedo Turkoglu.
I like it. He could have gone for the forced finish, but opted instead for kind of the nice smooth finger roll. I like it.
Here's McGrady. It's good from long range.
Not much drama left in this one, guys.
No, it hasn't quite exactly been a nail-biter. I mean, it's going to be a great win for them, though.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Tracy McGrady. That's his first foul. Monty Eunice is checked in for Charlotte. Now, here is Morris. He's covered closely, and the shot is good.
He could have used this run a while ago. It may not make much difference now.
Yeah, they hit that snooze button a little too much because they showed up late to this game.
And they're closing this game out in style. I mean, I like what they're doing here, competing till the very end.
That's certainly what it looks like. I mean, there's no let-up in them so far.
And there's a whistle that goes on Darius Morris. That's his first foul.
Well, I love it. He gets there first, absorbs the contact. Nice play defensively.
No flop there. He took that one right in the chest.
Nate Robinson's checked in for White.
Heard the whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play.
Jamal Tinsley's checked in for J.J. Redick. Toronto's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Here's Smith. And the dunk by Jordan. There's 21 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Morris. Leads him in there. Morris with the bucket.
That's right where they wanted to go with the ball on that possession.
Now the dish to Smith. It's hauled in by Monty Eunice. Now Tinsley. Here's Morris. That one falls off Tinsley's feet. Here's Villanueva. Missed. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game.